Alrighty, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, and welcome in, everybody. Hope y'all are having a fantastic, fantabulous, awesome freaking day. My name is Garrett Shoemake, and this is the Shoemake Take, coming at you guys with the Week 2 recap. Week 2, honestly, was a little bit more disappointing than I thought it would be, but my top 5 games of the week, all of them, at least to me, were disappointing. Every game except for the Eagles and Chiefs was a blowout. All of them were just simply not good games. And the Eagles and Chiefs game, as we'll get into, was just a defensive battle. And I like my defensive battles as much as the next NFL geek and NFL nerd. But honestly, I wanted to see a little bit more, considering that this was a Super Bowl rematch and this was hyped up as Fox's America's Game of the Week. You know, gotta see a little bit more than that. But hey, you know what? We saw some good moments. We saw some big plays that we'll get into when we get to that recap. Also, sorry that this is a day late. Completely forgot that the Chargers and the Raiders play at 10 o'clock Eastern where I live. And quite frankly, the game ended at almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I did not have time to record it afterward and then get it uploaded. The original plan was, hey, the game's going to be at 8 o'clock. The episode is going, I'm going to finish it, record this first segment that you guys are going to see here in a moment. I guess also right now, I guess it's all going to be put together. But I was going to record this about 11 o'clock, 11:30 after the game, spend the rest of the night editing, maybe go to bed at 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning, be okay, and have it uploaded on time. But with the game kicking off at 10 o'clock, simply was just not going to happen. I apologize. That was so unfortunate. When I saw it was happening at 10 o'clock, I was like, are you serious? And I remembered, oh wait, they're playing in Vegas. Of course they're playing in Vegas at this time. Of course the kickoff's going to be late. They're playing out west. So here's to hoping that no more Monday Night Football games are on the top 5 games of the week in that same scenario, although there probably will be. So if that happens, we'll have to upload a day late. So I apologize for that. But that being said, I already talked about how I felt about week 2, talked about my top 5 games of the week, and also the game delay. Without further ado, let's get into it and break it down anyways. Officially, first time for the year for the recap. Let it recap! Starting with game number 5, Bears at the Lions. Lions win 52-21 against the Bears. Lions absolutely stomped on Ben Johnson's first game against his former team. And when I talked about getting back to basics, this is what I meant. Get the run game going. Get Jahmyr Gibbs going. Look at this touchdown run here. Absolutely fantastic. And not just that, but look at plays like this type of play design. Getting a player to leak out here, get these easy completions. Lions got multiple touchdowns like this with this exact same play. Then getting into next key, containing the Bears defensive line. 0 sacks allowed. The offensive line did a fantastic job all around. They are the true unsung hero of this offense, and a day like today showed why. Then getting to key number 3, getting pressure on Caleb Williams. They made him uncomfortable, threw him off schedule, and what do you get? A diving interception by Kirby Joseph, a perfect recipe for destruction. Getting Chicago in their keys. They struggled on third down again. They went for 7-13, less than 50%. Not too bad, but also was not great. They also constantly got behind the sticks in third and long scenarios, and it made it that much harder to do what you got to do. But the last key, running the ball, they did a better job this week. DeAndre Swift looked better. He had this late touchdown, as you guys can see on the screen. But overall, this was an improvement from last week. But to cap it off, shout out to Rome Odunze. 7 catches, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. As you can see, he looks good, guys. He looks pretty darn good. But the Bears do not. They are 0-2. They got to find a way to bounce back next week. But the Lions, they got theirs. And then we move to number 4, the Eagles at the Chiefs, the Super Bowl rematch. Eagles win 20-17 in a hard-fought defensive battle. Starting with Philly and their keys to victory. When it came to attacking the Chiefs defense, it wasn't really an attack per se. It was more like death by 1,000 paper cuts. They just wore them down, just play after play, just getting after it. The Chiefs defense did a really good job overall slowing down the Eagles offense, so give them a lot of credit. But the Eagles offense was able to ultimately make more plays than the opposition. But they did get the receivers more involved going into key 2. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith had 80 of Jalen Hurts' 101 passing yards. So by the book, they accomplished that key. Some of these catches here look pretty darn good. Look at this one right here. One-handed by A.J. Brown. And then key number 3, absolute slam dunk. In a defensive battle like this, it's going to come down to who makes fewer mistakes. And I said, make few mistakes, force mistakes. And when it came down to it, boom, interception by the rookie Andrew Makuba, forcing a critical red zone mistake on Patrick Mahomes. Eagles proceeded to score on that drive. They moved to 2-0. And then on KC's side, they weirdly did a better job at reaching all of their keys, specifically going about them. Combining keys 1 and 2, they did an okay job on offense, taking what the Eagles defense was giving them and also taking their time. They were able to take advantage at the end with the late touchdown Tyquan Thornton, beautiful throw, but Mahomes missed one not long before it, so it could have been better. And then looking at the third key, containing Jalen Hurts, they did a fantastic job. They held him to 15 rushing yards, got a couple of sacks, didn't make a lot of plays off schedule. So overall, in this instance, the defense bounced back after their week 1 loss, but it does not reflect in the win column, going 0-2 for the second time in the Andy Reid era. The last time was when he was the first-year head coach for Kansas City in 2013, and they are 4th in the West, dead last. Is it time to panic in Kansas City? Then we move to Monday Night Football. The Chargers at the Raiders. Chargers win 20-9, and honestly, this one was over after this 60-yard bomb from Justin Herbert to Quentin Johnson. Shout out to Quentin. He's played really well these first couple of games. And then once again, Justin Herbert cooked, accomplishing a key number 1. He was not as electric, but he had an efficient night. He led the team in rushing as well. Great job by Justin Herbert in this game. Getting to key number 2, getting after Geno Smith. Their defense did a great job. They got 3 sacks. Geno was running around all game long. The corners, give them credit. They did a great job covering their receivers too, but they made him uncomfortable, and best of all, forced 3 interceptions. That is a recipe for success, ladies and gentlemen. Lastly, with key 3, winning the small battles, they did. They were more efficient. They kept the ball moving, but more importantly, they were able to land more of those serious punches that I was talking about that the Raiders simply couldn't. Overall, I'm very impressed by LA these first couple of games. They're 2-0, and they are looking pretty darn strong. Then we get to the Raiders side of things, and they had a bad night. Once again, Asher Genty was barely used, not hitting on key number 1. 11 carries the whole game is not good enough, and I know they were down, but the Raiders were close for a majority of this game, and they just did not put the ball in his hands enough like I thought they should have. Then looking at key number 2, getting after Justin Herbert, on that front, it wasn't good enough either. There were times where they got pressure, but they couldn't finish it and allowed Justin Herbert to make plays, and that just puts so much more pressure on the rest of your defense to step up. And then looking at key 3, winning the small battles, they punched themselves more than they were able to punch the Chargers. Again, they threw 3 picks, 2 missed 4th down conversions. They were in this game and had a chance. I don't want to take that away from the Raiders. They were competitive for the most part in this game. They had a chance, but they did not do a good enough job, and that is why they fall to 1-1 on the year. Next up, number 2, Falcons at the Vikings on Sunday Night Football. Falcons win 22-6 in the battle of kickers. We saw a whole bunch of field goals in this game. Goodness gracious, I should have watched a soccer match before this. At least we got to watch Lionel Messi. We got to watch 2 kickers battle it out. The Falcons overall dominated this game through and through, and I'm very happily encouraged. Getting to their first 2 keys, continuing their defensive success, and pressuring J.J. McCarthy, they shined. Oh my goodness, these defense looks completely different. Shout out to Jeff Ulbrich. They got 6 sacks on J.J. McCarthy, forced 2 picks. Shout out to rookies Billy Bowman and Xavier Watts. They've looked good in their first 2 games. Also, Jalen Walker and James Pierce got in on the action. All their rookies so far are looking very good on the defensive side of the ball. That is very exciting. And then looking at their third key with the offense needing to play well, in a weird way, they did. They just gutted the Vikings on the ground. Good old-fashioned ground and pound. Bijan Robinson, 143 yards. Tyler Algier, 74 in the touchdown at the end of the game. Honestly, against a defense that's supposed to have a strong run defense, they were the best run defense in the NFL last year in the Minnesota Vikings. The Falcons did a great job just holding possession, doing what you do best, putting the ball in your best player's hands. Drake London also had a good game, had a fumble, but overall, very good game from him. They ran the ball in total 36 times and get a strong bounce back win on the road and go up to 1-1. And for the Vikings, this is something that's going to happen at times when J.J. McCarthy is on the field. He's going to need time. His offensive line also having injuries simply did not help. Getting into key 1, they could not attack this defense consistently. They struggled to run the ball, And while throwing the ball, they had good moments, like this throw right here to Justin Jefferson right before halftime. Best throw of the night for them. But it simply wasn't enough. And then on their end, the pressure from the Falcons was relentless. The offensive line, again, struggled in the run game. They struck out on key number 2, not helping J.J. McCarthy at all. Now he's going to miss 2 to 4 weeks, and now you're going to rely on Carson Wentz to win games for you. But, hey, Kevin O'Connell's a quarterback whisperer. He's probably going to look really good. We'll have to see against Cincinnati next week. Lastly, they were also bad on third down, 4 of 11. This game for the Vikings all the way around was not good enough, and they fall to 1-1 on the year. Then we get to number 1 in what game I thought was the most disappointing, the Commanders at the Packers on Thursday Night Football. And Packers win 27-18 over Washington. For Green Bay, I said they got to run the ball for key number 1, and they were good. Josh Jacobs was not amazing, but he was good. He didn't need to be. Not when you can get your rookies involved. Look at Matthew Golden and Savion Williams, our 2 rookie receivers, with a couple of chunk plays here, helping out the offense move the ball. And then the other 2 keys, though they weren't reached, the Packers getting chippy, not necessary at all. When the Packers were doing what they were doing in this game, they were in firm control. There was no need for drama, and the Packers honestly really aren't a dramatic team. So not the best key for me personally, but didn't need to hit it at all, not necessary. And then you're looking at key number 3, where they didn't attack the corners all that much. But again, they did not need to when Tucker Kraft has the night like he had. 6 grabs, 124 yards, and a score, making plays all over the middle of the field, finding soft spots and zones. Wide receivers didn't do a whole lot in this game, but they didn't need to. Shout out Jeff Heath for an amazing catch right here on the sideline, though. Wow, what a beauty. Then we get to the Commanders, and they look sluggish all night long when it came to running the ball. It was tough sledding, only 51 yards, and by extension, allowed the Packers to stop Jaden Daniels. They held him to 17 yards off of how many scrambles, I can't remember how many scrambles he had, but he was running around, and he did not do a whole lot from it. And then moving to key number 2, getting more consistency from the wide receivers. As a unit, it wasn't good enough, although there was some good things. Deebo Samuel looked good again. He had a score in this game, and then Terry McLaurin had a better game from last week. So those 2 guys, it's been encouraging. But after that, no receiver had more than 3 catches. That's been very disappointing. And then stopping Micah Parsons, key number 3. He's made an immediate impact on this defense. And through 2 weeks, this might be the best defense in the NFL. And back to Parsons. He didn't fill the stat sheet in this game, but he was all over the field, disruptive, and he created other opportunities for his teammates, like this sack right here on Jaden Daniels, all because Micah Parsons got pressure on Jaden so quickly. The Packers dominate this game and look legit, and Washington is going to go back to the drawing board. Alrighty, now that the top 5 games are out of the way, let's break down the rest of the games really quickly here in week 2. Rapid fire. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do it, starting with the Giants and Cowboys. Cowboys win 40-37. Wow, this was the true best game of the week. Absolute fireworks at the end of the game. Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott combined for over 800 yards, 5 touchdown passes. Holy crap, this was an amazing game. Not the one I expected. I was able to watch the whole thing, so wow, a great game. Loved it. Best game of the week right there. Got that one correct. Then the Seahawks-Steelers. Seahawks win 31-17. This one I did not expect. Wow, the Steelers did not look great in this game at all. Had a really bad special teams gaffe. I can't remember when it was in the game, but it happened. I saw it, and it was pretty darn bad. The Seahawks came out swinging. They showed violence in this game. Wow, was not expecting that. Good on the Seahawks, though. What a bounce-back win for them, especially offensively. They looked really good. And then the Jags at the Bengals. Bengals ended up winning this one and got this one wrong. They won 31-27, and the Bengals held it off, I guess, but at what cost? Because Joe Burrow is going to miss 3 months. And Bengals, well, you got exactly what you deserve, not properly investing into this team. And the narratives of Joe Burrow being Andrew Luck 2.0 are really starting to circulate, and now it's getting too hard to ignore. I might jump on that bandwagon here pretty soon. Then the Bills beat the Jets 30-10. I thought this would be a domination by the Bills, and it was. The Bills looked great in this game. Josh Allen broke his nose, got it popped back into place, came back and finished out the game. This guy is so tough, man, for doing that. And then Justin Fields only 27 passing yards. Oh boy, what a fall back to earth this was for him. So, brutal reminder, Jets are still in a transition period. They're still trying to build. So, The Bills are a Super Bowl contender. No surprise there. I thought this would be a domination. Got that one right. And then Rams Titans. Picked the Rams to win. They won 33-19. I made a reaction video immediately after the game talking about my thoughts. And if you want to see that video, go check it out. But the TLDR, Rams absolutely exploded in the second half. Titans made 0 adjustments. Even though Cam Ward and this offense looked better in the first half. Things looked like they were moving a lot better. But at the end of the day, Brian Callahan, Titans head coach, did not make enough adjustments. So the Rams pulled away and won by the same margin I thought I had them winning at. I had them originally winning 24-10, but they won 33-19. That is a 14-point swing. Then the Patriots beat the Dolphins 33-27. Had the Patriots winning this one on the road, and it was a back and forth. It was good for both teams. Offenses looked good. Drake May looked really good on the Patriots side. Ramondre Stevenson had a great game, honestly. And then on Miami's side, their offense got back to doing what they normally do. They looked pretty solid for the most part, but the defense still looks pretty darn bad, and that's what ultimately killed them in the end. But Patriots get a win on the road, moved to 1-1. Good for them. Miami is in shambles right now for the most part. Then the 49ers, I thought I had them beating the Saints. They won 26-21 here, and Mac Jones started for Brock Purdy, who's going to be missing a few games, but Mac Jones played pretty well. The offense overall looked good. The team overall, all together, looked better. They look better than last year, which that was my main concern for the 49ers, is if they can just look better than last year and show some progress, that's all I really want to see. And so far through 2 weeks, they've looked much better than last year. And then for the Saints, though, even though they're 0-2, they've been competitive. They haven't been a slouch at all, so I'll give some credit where credit's due. Spencer Rattler's been fine. The offense and the defense has shown some good things. And overall, I can't be too unhappy with the Saints. They're a lot better along than I thought they would be. So even though they're 0-2, definitely there's a lot of positive to pull from the New Orleans Saints side of things. And then the Browns beat the Ravens 41-17. Another game I thought that would be an absolute domination. I had the Ravens winning. I got that one right. And the Ravens destroyed them. And the only thing for the Browns, hey, look, Dylan Gabriel and Dylan Sampson had a touchdown pass late in the game. Didn't really matter, but hey, 2 rookies contributing, that's fine. But then Quinshon Judkins and then Harold Fannin were contributing roles, so that's really good for Browns fans. That's one thing you can be excited about. And then for the Ravens, the run game was non-existent, but hey, Lamar Jackson had a really great day, so it is what it is. Roquan Smith also had a defensive touchdown, got a strip sack, and then picked it up and ran it backwards. So that's a great play by them, but Ravens destroyed them there. And then the Broncos losing to the Colts 29-28. Got that one wrong. Would have been right had the Broncos not gaffed on special teams. The Colts missed the first game-winning field goal. Then the Broncos get a penalty. Colts get a second shot and immediately hit right after. Daniel Jones in this offense looked good again. Jonathan Taylor went insane, 165 yards off of 25 carries for him. Defense still looking solid in Indy. Cam Bynum with another really big interception and another big touchdown celebration for him. So Colts are looking dangerous. The Broncos are looking pretty darn fraudulent right now. And then the Panthers lose to the Cardinals. Cardinals win 27-22. I had the Cardinals winning, so mark that one up for yours truly. And the Panthers fought. They tried to come back late in the game. The ending was pretty intense, but the Cardinals were able to hold them off. They got out to a lead early on and never gave it back. Cardinals moved to 2-0 on the year, and good for them. And Carolina falls to 0-2. And for both of these teams, Cardinals are looking great, or not looking great, but they're looking good. Panthers are looking very disappointing. Finally, we talk about the Bucs Texans on Monday Night Football. Bucs win, I think it was 20-17. I don't remember the final score, but this game was good. Hard-fought battle, but it was good. Texans, even though they lost, were fighting in this game. They had a blocked punt on special teams, had a big touchdown to go up big late in the game. I guess not big, but they were up by a touchdown, 25-yard run by Nick Chubb. That looked good, but the Bucs simply proved that they were the better team. Baker Mayfield got hurt in this game, but guess what? He got right back up, drove his team right down the field for the win, and that's ultimately what you want to see from the Bucs. They're 2-0. While things have not been great on the offensive side of the ball, they've stepped up when they needed to step up and make plays when it absolutely mattered. So that's the big takeaway for Tampa this week and also these first 2 weeks. But again, they are 2-0. They look good. And then the Texans, they are 0-2. And while they went down fighting, they've been competitive in their first 2 games. You can't start 0-3. You got to find a way to bounce back next week. Because if you start 0-3, your chances of making the playoffs, statistically speaking, go into the gutter. So they really got to bounce back and find their way very, very soon. But with that being said, that is going to do it for the Week 2 recap. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you've made it this far, please consider hitting the like button and hitting the subscribe button. Please do if you guys have enjoyed. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers before the end of the 2025 regular season. So if you guys get the word out and get people to hit those 2 buttons, it takes a couple of seconds. It's free, and if it's free, it's for me. You know what I'm saying? Can't turn down free stuff. And so get that word out. Get people to smash the like and subscribe button. I sound like every other YouTuber that tells you what every other YouTuber tells you to do. Secondly, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. What did you guys think of week 2? What did you guys think of these games that you guys were able to watch? Were you happy with your team in week 1, or were you not happy? I know some teams really weren't happy, especially the Broncos fans. Oh, Lord, that's an unfortunate way to lose. But that being said, other than that, follow me on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Continuing to spread the word out and get more people to join here in this TheShumakeTake community, getting everybody locked in and locked on to the TheShumakeTake, coming out with great previews and great weekly recaps all the time for you. With that being said, that is going to do it. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you all next time.